That horrendous noise. Easy peeler. Bongola.
Oh, yay.
I've got something in my teeth. But then what does that leave me? Mushrooms? It's about to get real citrusy up in this bit.
Anywho.
Oh, what was I going to do? I need to quit my jibber jabber.
Ready? Hello and welcome to Uphill From Here.
This is Catherine.
And this is Amy. And we're on another week. I can't remember what number we're on.
Every week. It's episode 24.
It's series 3. That's exciting because, after Confessions episode, it was that was the end of another milestone, even though we got the number wrong.
Was it?
Yeah.
You could have told me.
Sorry.
That's hilarious. Well, I'm glad to know. Welcome to a new series, apparently.
We're about 3 episodes into, but...
Oh, God. I'm so behind. Anyways, what's our word of the week this week, Catherine?
Our word of the week this week is belief, which I'm quite excited about. I feel like it's very different for our podcast.
I feel like shit's about to get deep.
Sorry.
I love deep chats, and I think this is something that we, in our personal lives, haven't actually talked about that much.
No, we haven't.
Conversation, so I'm interested to get each other's views on things and get to know each other a bit more. I'm excited. Should we get started?
Yeah, let's get started. So your turn first this week, I think.
I think
it is. I think it is.
I'll follow your lead.
Okay.
Bing, bing, bong.
So aggressive.
Imagine I just replace all of this week's transition sounds with that. Bing, bing, bong.
Amy has said, to anyone looking for answers, to be perfectly honest, you're asking the wrong person. Then again, is there a right person to ask? Do I believe in ghosts? Do I believe in aliens? Do I believe in a god or divine being? Do I believe in life after death? Do I believe in the power of manifestation? I'll get back to you on that. For me, I'm most happily placed under the agnostic umbrella, the little tick box on the equal opportunities form that says no fixed religion or belief. I don't believe in these things wholeheartedly, but to the same token, I can't disbelieve either. I have a massive admiration for those who can have complete faith in something that there is no proof of. To have unwavering certainty or trust in something or someone without concrete proof. Their faith or belief is much stronger than any one thing you can hold in your hand. It amazes me. I'd love to have the comfort that I imagine comes with having a solid, unshakable faith or belief in something, but to put it simply, I just don't know. I don't have the answers and I'm not sure I ever will, and I'm totally okay with that. I think having an open and evolving view of all things is the key to being a happy, understanding, rounded and empathetic person. I love hearing about other people's beliefs and religions. I'm open to anything. I think what comes hand in hand with not having a fixed belief system is the ability to be open-minded to most things and to be understanding and respectful of how others choose to live their lives. I think there is a lot that we can learn from others, from stories and from teachings. There's also a lot we can learn from ourselves. I think that what I believe most is that by spending our time looking for definite answers and by dwelling for too long on the meaning of life, we might just miss out on it completely. Amy. Whoa. Love that.
The Dalai Lama.
You are! Amy needs to change career and become an inspirational speaker. She needs to do TED Talks.
I'd love that.
I'd come and sit at a TED Talk that you did for a week.
You'd be the only one, but I appreciate
it. You're very welcome.
And my mum. My mum would be there.
First question, I think, is what made you go down the road of kind of belief systems and, faith and those kinds of things? What was it that brought that to light for you about the word belief?
I think that's the first thing that just came into my mind when you say, what do you believe in? And people will ask, do you believe in God? Do you believe in an afterlife? Do you believe in ghosts or spirit? And I think it all is all around those things because that's one of the biggest things that can't be either proven or disproven. So you either have to choose to believe or not to believe. But I kind of sit right in the middle of that where I don't believe, but I don't not believe. you can't show me proof that God exists, that ghosts exist, but you can't show me evidence that they don't. So I'm not ruling anything out, to be honest. Like, I'm open to anything. I think the big things that people believe in are the things that like shape the way they live, which is religion, which is faith.
Yeah.
That was obviously part of my childhood, so I guess that's why that kind of came up when I thought of belief and what I believe in.
Yeah. And do you think it's possible? Because I know personally, like when you mentioned the equal opportunities form, I thought that was really interesting, because I do think it is at that point that you do sort of, you sit back and you question, I think sometimes, like obviously it depends on what person you are. Some people are completely atheist and they know that for a fact. But I always prefer not to say.
Mm.
And do you think you can sit on a spectrum of belief that, you know, you don't necessarily have to be devoutly Christian or devoutly something, but you can have a level of belief in something along those lines?
I think you can be kind of open, and I feel like that's what I am.
Mm.
But I think you can't be half a Christian. You can't be half a Muslim. Like I feel like
No.
if you're a Christian, you're devoted to that, and if you take on that identity, almost that label, that's who you are. That's part of what makes you the person you are. I feel
Yeah.
like that you've chosen that, and I feel like you can't choose that by half. You either believe in the book and that's what guides your life, or you're open to anything. I feel like there's no point having these names for things and these religions if you're not gonna stick to it and choose one.
Yeah.
And that's why I kind of talked about being open to all things. Like I might have friends that are atheists, I might have friends that are Christian, I might have friends that are Muslim or Sikh or Buddhist. And I'm so interested by all of that. But yeah, I feel like if you are that religion, you have to be so committed to it. And I think that's what I admire about the people that are religious and have a faith that they identify with.
Yeah.
They connect so strongly to it.
Mm. And I think you just kind of saying about having that interest, like I found myself having that interest because I've always found myself curious and wanting to ask questions to people who are, you know, practicing Muslim, practicing Jewish, you know, people who are a part of that religion.
Mm.
And then there's obviously the whole thing of don't talk about politics and religion.
Mm.
Do you think that that should be a more open conversation about belief systems?
I think in the right setting, yes. I think you're absolutely right. If you had a friend that was Muslim or Buddhist or whatever, and you're interested by that, and you feel that it's a safe and comfortable environment to bring that conversation up, then go for it. If you feel that would be, if they were okay and you addressed it as, are you comfortable talking about this? Because I'd love to learn. But I also think that religion can be extremely, extremely personal.
Mm-hmm.
To them, in a lot of cases, it's their very personal and intimate relationship with a divine being, with a God. And
Yeah.
That's just for them. That's like any relationship. Sometimes people don't want to share and answer questions about the relationship.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of the same when people don't want to talk about their relationship with God. And I think there's a real kind of stigma, I think, sometimes against certain religions and people who have these beliefs. So maybe they've just kept that to themselves. And they don't want to share it. But I think it is important to learn about like a wide range of belief systems and be open to that. And that's what I kind of aim to be, is like open to learning from everyone. Like I was saying, it's very personal for some people, like, and that's all it needs to be. I think everyone has their kind of individual ways that maybe religion or belief or not having a belief has shaped their life. And I think that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to help shape you and guide you through life. And that's going to be different for everyone. So I feel like everyone has like a different experience. I think everyone believes in something or has a view on the word belief, even if it's like they disbelieve. You still have a belief that doesn't exist.
Have a belief. Yeah, exactly. You believe that there is. You can believe that there is no God. Because there's nothing to prove that there isn't, but there's also nothing to prove that there is. So it's a belief. It's not. It's not fact. You can't prove it. Like you said, you know, there's no proof of it.
And that's why, like, having these debates and trying to argue with someone, it's pointless. Like, they don't see things your way and you don't see things theirs. And there's no point trying to convince them otherwise, or convince them that, unless it's doing something harmful, trying to convince them that something they believe and have faith in isn't real or is a bad thing, or you shouldn't think this, or you shouldn't believe in this, or you shouldn't preach this. It's their personal choice.
Exactly.
And you're not going to get anywhere by trying to tell someone, try to change their mind on what they believe. Like, you just do you. Like, what part is it that you have to try and convert everyone to think the way that you do? Like, what kind of world would we live in if everyone thought the same and believed in the same things? It'd be very boring.
It would be very boring. And we wouldn't be having conversations like this if everybody believed in the same things. And, I think that's a really important point to make.
Oh.
And I think my biggest question is something that you kind of opened up for yourself with the way that you wrote your letter about, do you believe in manifestation? And then you've said, I'll come back to that. Yeah. So let's go back to that. Nice segue. What are your thoughts on manifestation now?
I'm fairly new to manifestation. I read a lot about it and I was like, I didn't really understand it. And I think that's the problem with a lot of beliefs, religions, faiths, whatever you want to call them, belief systems. It's a lack of understanding and a lack of education. And I think sometimes people are like, oh, that's a load of garbage. That's a load of hippie shit, whatever they want to think. But actually, you can't really make a solid judgment on someone if you don't understand it fully. So I looked into it and I was like, actually, this is just a really healthy and positive way of changing your mindset about your life and feeling like you're in control of your life, and really taking back that power. So yeah, manifestation is new to me, but I'm trying to practice it a bit more. So I have a vision board online that helps keep me focused and reminds me of what kind of life I want to live. I try and do positive affirmations to make myself feel good about myself and remind me that I do have a choice and that I do have a power and control over my life, and I'm attracting the right people, the right circumstances into my life. And then also just practicing gratitude. What am I grateful for? These are all things that aren't harmful. If it's all a bunch of bullshit, then so be it. But all the stuff that I'm doing is just making me a better, more positive person, making me live a better life. And people might say that about any belief system.
I think that's a really interesting point because it's something that I've kind of had conversations with people about. This whole idea of, oh, but it doesn't work. Oh, but it's not real. Even in terms of things like medical things like travel sickness bans or painkillers, when people say, oh, but they don't actually do anything, it's all in your head. And it's like, okay, but it works for me.
Yeah.
So why would I stop? Whether or not you think it works, if it's working for that person, then let them crack on.
Yeah.
Because that person is getting more benefits out of what they're doing than if they weren't doing what they're doing right now. Whether you think it's real or not. It doesn't matter what anybody else tells me I should or shouldn't believe.
And that's exactly the whole point. If you have your belief systems, if you're so strong in that, you can't be shaken by other people's doubts and other people's questions. You're like, well, this is what I believe in. You don't need to understand it. If it's really helping you and making you feel safe, and this is the thing that I kind of touched on in my letter, is the comfort that comes with the belief.
Yes.
No matter if that's you believe that there is a God who's looking out for you, or you believe in just the good nature of people, or you believe in karma, or you believe in crystals, or you believe in manifestation, you believe there's a greater plan. All that's providing comfort and positivity in your life. Yeah. And that's always a good thing, no matter where that comes from. Shall I read your letter then?
Yeah.
Okay. Bing, bang, bong. Catherine's written, to anyone who struggles with this word, so do I. When we first discussed this word as our word of the week, I didn't think I could write about it. I thought, but I don't know if I have a belief, what or who I believe in. And then my wonderful friend and co-host, reminded me that belief doesn't always have to be about a divine power or religion. Belief can be in yourself, those around you, the universe, fate. I struggle to believe in myself. I never give myself credit for anything, especially when it's something I really care about and I'm likely to brush off my achievements. But I find it very easy to believe in those around me. I believe a great deal in the ability of my friends and family. I believe that they'll go on to do great things and that they can do anything if they put their minds to it. I think what I'm trying to say is that no matter what you believe in, you should trust it, and that the most important thing is to believe in yourself. My advice to any of you that are also struggling with this word Start by looking at yourself, and then you are most able to open yourself up to believe in everything else. Love, Kat. Oh, I think that's one of my favourite letters that you've written.
Really? Because I thought it was really disjointed.
No, I liked it. Maybe I like disjointed things.
Maybe you do.
Why do you think that is? Because you kind of talked about you like really believe in your friends, and I can vouch for that. Like you really champion your friends and family, and you're always like, you can do it, you can do anything you want to. Why do you think that's so much easier for you to feel towards other people when you just really struggle to feel that towards yourself?
Probably because when it comes down to other people's achievements, I don't have the fears and the anxiety and the unknown part of it.
Mm.
So it's very easy to tell somebody all of the great things about themselves because you see all of those things, and it's the reason that you're friends with them or that you love them and all those kinds of things. Whereas for yourself, you see all of the barriers that are in the way of you getting to that point. Because people always say, oh, you should treat yourself like you would treat your best friend. But it's very difficult to do that. And I don't know where it stems from. There's probably some moment in life that, pinpointed it. But I think it is that fear and those barriers that get in the way of you believing in yourself. Whereas when you're believing in a friend, you don't have all those insecurities or those barriers or those things that you tell yourself you can't do because you're not living it. So it's far easier for you to say, come on, let's do it. Like, go for it. You can. It's possible. You're talented enough. Mm-hmm. And you don't have that when it comes down to yourself.
But in a way, they will have all those barriers and insecurities and their own stuff. You just obviously don't see that because you're not living their life, and that's fine. But what is really interesting is now you know what's in your way. You're almost like in control of, what things you're facing. You know the obstacles in your way and you're aware of them. So maybe you can better prepare yourself for success. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know what you mean. You're
in control of what you do and what you achieve.
Yeah, absolutely you are. But you also have the ability to hold yourself back.
That's true.
You are the person that can say, no, it's fine. Or you are the person that can go, I'll apply for that job tomorrow, or I'll apply for that thing tomorrow, and then the deadline's gone.
Yeah.
You are the person that can hold yourself back from those things. Whereas with a friend, if a friend asks you for advice on something, the point of advice is to get them to where they want to be. So you can push that further than you would with yourself.
It's really interesting kind of talking about this and like believe in yourself and your abilities and what you can achieve, because it kind of reminds me, it brings me back to the idea of manifestation, where you are the center of your own universe and you're in control of everything that happens to you. And your own success, and you really do have to believe in yourself and feel like, I can do this, I am successful, I am good, I am worthy, all these affirmations. So I wonder, flipping it right back to you, what's your views on manifestation? And is it something you think might potentially help you, like believe in yourself more?
I don't understand it enough. And I have tried. I am interested in, and I am intrigued by the theory of it, but I don't believe in myself enough to tell myself that I will do amazingly. So saying a positive affirmation to myself, going, yeah, you can do it, I'm like, but 10 minutes later I'll be telling myself that I'm not able to do something, or that I can't do something because of something. So it's kind of contradictory. So I think I never really got into it because I'm not in that, like, not necessarily a lot of the time in that headspace where I go, yeah, I can do this. Particularly, which I touched on in my letter, in situations that I care about. Like, say, if, 10 months ago when I lost my job and was very unemployed, you'd told me that I'd be in the job that I'm in now, I'd have told you absolutely not. But because I don't love this job, I don't hate it, I like my job, but I don't love it. I go, yeah, I can do that. Yeah. Fine. I do that every day. When it comes to art stuff, I won't tell myself, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. And a lot of the time, which is true, it's not just negative self-talk. A lot of the time, you're not the best at it because you're still learning and you get things wrong. But it matters more when it's something that you care about than when it's something that is just a job.
Yeah. I think like that can apply to like any belief, like belief in yourself, belief that you can do something, belief that someone else is going to guide you and make things the way they're supposed to be, is that you need to be like almost 100% in. Like you're saying with manifestation, if you say a positive affirmation like I am successful, but then you're thinking inside you're thinking I'm a failure, unless you actually let these beliefs really infiltrate your mind and the way and actively impact the way you live your life, it's not gonna work. Like the whole point is that it changes you as a person. So like you need to fully believe in whatever you believe in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's you, like you say, you can't be half Christian. You can't half manifest.
Yeah. You need to
Then
be.
it's not manifestation. You're not manifesting for something because you're only half in it. You're not putting yourself into that and saying, yes, this is going to happen. Which I think is where I struggle, because manifestation becomes a way of life.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot. It takes a lot to change a whole mindset. So it's something that I'm definitely interested in and I am aware of. And I sort of use it on a semi-regular basis of like positive vibes.
Yeah, you're practicing. Yeah, trying to practice.
Yeah. But it's not something that comes naturally overnight, I think. Whereas obviously with belief systems that have like a written text, for example, religion, which have written texts, it's almost like a guide. Here's the things that you need to be doing or believing.
Yeah.
Whereas manifestation and spirituality doesn't have a book. It's all on you.
Very personal,
Like you say, all boils down to it being very personal, and it has to have that personal level of it. My opinion on manifestation is that I think it's fantastic and I think it really works for people. I think it will just take me a lot longer to come to terms with it and get to grips with it, because it's something that takes a lot of positive self-talk, which is not necessarily something that comes naturally to myself.
And I think it's interesting as well because some people find comfort in I'm in control of my life and I decide what happens. Some people love that and they think I am powerful, I'm great, and it's great for them, and sometimes that comes to you naturally. But sometimes people find more comfort in going, it's out of my hands. Some people find more comfort in being like, it's my God's choice, or it's the Spirit's choice, or whatever kind of guides them, whatever they follow. Sometimes it's easier for them to, and it's more comforting to be like, it's out of my control. So whatever happens, happens. Which I kind of like. I also kind of like that.
I think I believe in fate.
Yeah?
Sure. I think that's something that I kind of believe in, is that everything happens for a reason. You can take a positive out of everything. Any bad breakup, anybody passing away, any sudden trauma, anything like that, you can take something positive from it because it builds you as a person. So everything does happen for a reason. And I think I also believe that if something's meant to be, it will be. What's for you won't go by you. For example, when I learned that I cannot control how other people feel about something, was the most freeing thing ever. Because you can sit there and you can go, right, I know how I felt and why I said what I said or why I did what I did. Their reaction to it is nothing to do with me. Like their opinion is none of my business, kind of.
Love that. Love it.
That belief of kind of going, actually, because it frees you from needing reassurance, which is something that, again, I've always kind of struggled with. I've always been, did I do the right thing? Am I sure I did the right thing? Oh, but what if I've really upset them? Are you sure I haven't really upset them? But it's that thing of sacrificing that whole thought process and going, I did everything that I could, and ending it there. And I think that's really important to remember, that like sometimes it's to be able to believe that you did the right thing is as much a belief system as anything else, because sometimes we have to make hard decisions in life and we can't beat ourselves up for those decisions that we made.
Exactly. And a belief in the fact that everything happens for a reason is,
Yeah.
I agree with that, 100% get that. Everything happens for a reason. It's sometimes, again, a comfort for someone who likes to understand and control everything and just wants to understand why that happened or why that person left or why I lost my job. And sometimes you just have to accept that things are out of your hands. And as soon as you believe that everything happens for a reason, it's so comforting. It's like, okay, I might not understand it now, but it's like the butterfly effect. Like it will have an impact on my life and lead me where I'm supposed to go.
Exactly.
Um,
And build you up as a person.
mm.
I believe in personal growth.
It's nice to not have to have a reason for that. It's like, it's not like I believe everything happens for a reason because that's what God intended, or do you know what I mean? Being more open to it just happens for a reason. And it's,
I believe everything happens for a reason because we have to make mistakes and we have to live life, which is why I don't agree with this whole idea of having everything sorted by the time you're 25. Where's the fun in that? Like, when are you going to learn about stuff and find out about yourself and learn when you get into your mid 30s that you really like, I don't know, like climbing? I don't know. Like, again, everything happens for a reason and it doesn't all have to happen now. You
yeah,
have a whole life ahead of you to learn about different things that you enjoy doing.
wow. I like what you just said. Everything happens for a reason and it doesn't all have to happen right now is something that I need to have on my wall. Because it's so,
I'll calligraphy it for you.
it doesn't all need to happen right now. Oh, okay. So that kind of leads us on to our lovely guest this week who actually suggested our word of the week and kind of topic for discussion this week. So, Catherine, who is our guest this week?
Our guest this week is the lovely Emma from Feminista Theatre on Instagram. She's wonderful. She went to our university. She was a couple of years younger than us, but she's fantastic and she is here to talk to us all about spirituality.
Bing, bing, bong.
So, my definition of belief is very fluid and very open and up for interpretation, because that's what I believe. That's what I believe that belief is very personal. It's a very fluid journey, and you can really go between many different belief systems and take little parts of them all to create your own, as long as you're doing it in a respectful manner. And I think when people think of belief or faith or believing in something, they automatically go to religion, and that is a big part of beliefs. You know, religion really does fit into believing in stuff, because you have to believe in a certain God, a certain writing, you know, a certain story or whatever. But I think it's so much more than that, and it's so much deeper rooted than just simply believing in the Bible, the Quran. You know, it's so much more than that. And you don't have to be religious or anything to believe in something. You know, I class myself as a witch because I believe in the practice of witchcraft and spirituality and the power that the elements of nature have. But I know loads of people that dabble in and out of similar practices to me that just do not have or have any desire to have a label on that belief system, but they know that they believe in, you know, tarot readings or the moon cycles or crystals, but they don't want to put a label on it. And that's where people get deterred from believing or saying they believe in something, because there's such a need to label it. If somebody says they believe in it or they want to do that or they are a certain way, there's such a need to label it so we can understand. But belief systems are so complex and so intimate that as an outsider we will never understand why or how that person believes in a certain thing. That's completely fine. And, you know, so many wars have been created over opposing belief systems and feeling the need to prove your belief to be better than others, when it's not, you can't even compare people's belief systems. Where I stand with it is, as long as your belief system doesn't condemn or harm anybody for things they can't change, i.e. their race, gender identity, sexuality, all those things, disability and all, so many things. As long as your belief system doesn't discriminate or harm anyone, then go for it. There doesn't have to be, I'm right, I'm going to prove you right because I believe in what I believe in. There's plenty of people that believe in so many different things where I just can't get behind it, but so so yeah, belief systems are so intimate and so personal, and they can be as strong or as fluid as you want. There's no competition. There shouldn't be any competition. So yeah, that's my definition of belief. I think everyone needs to calm down on the trying to label everything, and just let yourself go with what you believe in. Listen to what deep down your morals are, your ethics are, what you have some interest in, and experiment. I didn't wake up one day and think, oh, I'm a witch. It was a years and years and years of dabbling in and out of different stuff like crystal healing and aromatherapy and all these sort of things to finally define, okay, this is what I believe in through and through. This is what I believe in. So yeah, have fun with it. Play with your belief systems and don't oppose your beliefs on everyone else. You can obviously have a conversation and educate people on what you believe in, but there is no need to be opposing other people's beliefs or imposing your beliefs. Your beliefs. So yeah, that's my definition of believing and believing.
Bing, bang, boom.
I feel like that was just a really nice roundup of kind of everything that we've said. Like, I feel like Emma's point of view kind of encompassed what you and me both kind of spoke about separately.
And I think that comes from her being open and, like she says, fluid and open to hearing other people out and being interested and curious about what other people believe.
Yeah.
It makes you a more rounded and just a more, like, understanding person.
I really agreed with her point about, like, stop judging, stop telling people the labels that they need to put on things, stop telling them that they need to believe this, 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 and this in order to be this, and just allow people to take beliefs from wherever they feel comfortable and from wherever they want to. I
love that as well, because she kind of talked about what I talked about with tick boxes, and you're either this or you're this. And for me, I think you know what you are, but you don't have, and you can be 100% in that. But it's really interesting that she can open up the idea that doesn't need to be labeled. You don't need to explain that to anyone else. Like you say, no religion or prefer not to say. Because I think sometimes when you put that word on it automatically comes with that stigma. Like, I can guarantee, and I'm sure there'll be people now innocently, as soon as they hear someone say they identify as a witch or they identify with a pagan religion, a lot of people, or even with manifestation, I'm sure a lot of people instantly their thought goes to, that means that, and automatically there'll be jokes and things and prejudices that'll jump into their mind. Actually, how about just listen, be respectful, and if you are curious, ask questions in a respectful way. Do some research, because you don't fully understand that thing, and that person that had that belief fully does, because they are invested in it.
Yeah.
Believe in it.
Yeah, if you say you're Christian, people sort of go, oh, God, I need to be really well behaved, or I can't swear in front of you. And there's people that I know that are Christian that swear, and they drink and they go on nights out and they enjoy a good, like, boogie and stuff. Your religion is a part of you. You are not your religion.
Yes, love that. Like, you're not a tick box, and like you believe in that thing doesn't make you the stereotype of that thing. Your belief system, whatever you believe in, is for you. It's just for you. So someone could be like, I don't believe in this. Here's proof that this thing doesn't work or this thing doesn't exist. So I believe in it.
I loved that. Like, so what?
Yeah. Cool. You don't believe in it. You think it's rubbish. That's what you believe in. But I can guarantee that she's far happier. Someone that's just solid in what they believe in won't be shaken on that. Someone that's far happier than the person that's like just trying to tear everyone else's beliefs down. Like, what do you believe in? What do you stand for apart from tearing other people down and judging them? Like, That's not going to make you a better person or make you happier. Don't focus on what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
Focus on what you believe in. What good can you do in the world? Like, how can you be a better person? And just don't worry about what other people are doing. Like she said, as long as it's not creating harm or condemning anyone or hurting anyone, why question it? Like, it's not hurting you, so just let it be. Let it be.
Speaking words of wisdom, let it be.
Yeah, so
I think that's a nice little ending. Don't you?
bing, bing, bong. Thank you very much to Emma. Thank you
Thank you, Emma.
for listening. I've forgotten.
Yeah?
I've forgotten how to end. Thank you very much for sharing your views. Super interesting. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you would like to be a future guest, if there's something you want to talk about, bring to us, educate us on, please do. We'd love to learn. Catherine, how can they get in touch?
Please get in touch via our Instagram. We are Uphill From Here podcast on Instagram, and we are our email. Sorry, on how to speak. Our email is uphillfromherepodcast@gmail.com. You can send us your letter straight away if you have a letter that you've already written, or you can get in touch and we can have a little chat about how we can slot you into the podcast. There's pretty much nothing that we won't talk about. So,
Challenge accepted.
if you want to send us anything, any word, even if it's something that you kind of want to suggest as a word but you don't necessarily want to be a guest, just let us know. It's something you might want to hear about and we can find somebody to talk about it.
And if that word is food, then please feel free.
Thank you for listening.
Bye.